Come cani favoriti in Omonoia?
And we call taxi, and with Kilian I opened the door behind, I put him in the taxi, and I close the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out there.
You're going to get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
I'm going to let you say that first word, Rod.
Eto!
Yes! Eto, welcome to another edition of the No Job Desk podcast. I'm Stel, this is Rod. How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, all good, all good. Can you
Yeah,
hear that?
told you lightning again in the background.
Is that your crackling or is that my crackling now?
Nah, it's not mine. I can hear you nice and clear. For you.
I need to know if anyone's watching now, can you hear any crackling, any sounds? Because I can hear some crackling. So I don't know where it's coming from me or where it's coming from Rod. But anyway, we're here to discuss our new signing, Adam Matthews, Welsh international, 30 years old. He's come on a free transfer from Charlton. We obviously need a right back because Shehu, who was on the show the other day, has left the club. But I think we've got an adequate replacement. And Rod's here to talk to us about him because he's a fellow Welshman, mate. Yeah. Are you going to be supporting Omonoia from now on?
It's weird. Well, I'm not going to go that far. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's weird that he's a Swansea boy. He was born in Swansea, played for Cardiff. But yeah, he's obviously got a good connection with Neil Lennon, experienced, won things. 30 years of age, you know, not old, not young, but that experienced age where it can come in and definitely add to the team. So it's probably been an easy sell to Neil Lennon. You know, you're probably on the same money and you're living in, in Cyprus in a great climate, great fans. You know, might play in Group B again, but you never know. You might do better.
This guy again. I can help, Jesus. Well, the backstory with this player, I'm going to try to break it down as quick as I possibly can. I know he broke through the Cardiff first team at 17 years old. That was around about the time when Dave Jones was head coach. And they had Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank there. They had Robbie Fowler, if I'm not mistaken. They got to the playoff final and they lost to, was it Blackpool? The year when Blackpool got promoted. Yeah, with Ian Holloway. I think it was that year. And then about a year and a half later, Neil Lennon said, was interested in him. They met him and his agent in a car park after a game with Gary Parker. And they said, we want you to join. They signed a pre-contract agreement. He joined Celtic. He won 2 league titles, playing with like Wanyama. Virgil van Dijk was there in his second season. He played left back against Barcelona when they beat them 2-1. Messi was playing on that side. And then Ronnie Dahlia came in. He didn't really get many opportunities. I think Mikael Lustig was at right back. He ended up going to Sunderland, and that was a move done behind his back, which he wasn't sure about. Dick Advocat signed him from Sunderland, believe it or not. Made his debut against Leicester, got injured. And that was it. He was done. Sunderland got relegated. Simon Grayson came in. He was then sent out. No, he recovered, came back, got sent on loan when David Moyes was head coach. Anyway, Simon Grayson came in, and then they did that Netflix documentary. Which was a fucking clusterfuck. He ended up at Charlton under Lee Bowyer, who he really liked. And then now he's obviously joined us, but from what I'm aware, Neil Lennon is the best coach. He feels that Lennon's the best coach he's ever worked under. He gets on with him really well. So tell me, Rod, when a club loses a handful of experienced players, like Omonoia have, Hubichan's gone, Jordi Gomez has gone, various players have left that are in their mid to late 30s, How important is it to bring in a 30-year-old player that's had that level of experience playing Champions League football, Scottish Premier League, winning what he has done?
Oh, it's massive because the experience coming in. Yes, it'll probably take a little bit of adapt. You'll have to adapt a little bit to the conditions and the way Cypriot football is, but it wouldn't take long because, like I say, he's experienced. He's played in European football, so he's tasted that. Like you just mentioned, he's played against top players of Messi. He's played with top players in Van Dijk. So, yeah, the experience is invaluable. And when you're losing someone probably of 34, 35, you're probably gaining a better player, a Welsh international. Yes, he's not played a lot of games, but he's still an international player, and he's had that experience. So. It's just a no-brainer. He's worked with the manager know him well, so he'll know how to work with him and won't be wasting any time. So yeah, it's just a massive plus in all areas.
Now he plays right back, as we know. So when you're talking about a fullback that knows that position, that knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses. As far as I'm aware, that he has had some injury problems, Achilles being one of them. He's had an ankle problem as well. How much pace do you lose, especially when you're in your early 30s?
Yes, you do lose your pace, but you've seen it over the years. Gary Neville, when he lost his pace, he still got that little bit of experience and that know-how. But yes, pace is going to kill you, but like I say, you adapt. If someone's quick, you don't get too tight. If you're comfortable, you can get tight. There's lots of ways you can be around it, and like I say, with that experience, he'll know how to handle it.
There's a question here, wondering if a player who is used to playing in cold temperatures most of the time can also cope with the high temperatures we have in Cyprus. You're talking about right now, it's like 37, 35, 37.
Yeah, but they don't play in this heat because the season's over now. So it's over in May, isn't it? Is it May?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really get... May, yeah. It's not ridiculous temperatures. Ridiculous temperature in Cyprus is now June, July, August. When it reaches up to the hundreds, when it's unbearable, you can't play football in it. Not a high tempo anyway. So, no, I think he'd be fine. I think it'd be better for his injuries. That sea air, a better life of living. Waking up in London's a nice place to live, but Cyprus, living on the beach, it's a great experience for him. So, no, it's like I say, it's all plus and ticks all areas because like I say, that sea air, that sand, run on the sand, jogs or whatever you can do to rehabilitate yourself. It's all good with that sea air.
Do you think it will extend his career as well, living in that climate?
Possibly. Sometimes it might go there, it might not fit, but pretty sure it will do because Neil Lennon know the character. You want to ask him to come out there otherwise. So, yeah, if Neil Lennon stays out there for a good few years, why not? If he applies himself and does a good job for the team, and why not?
Mm.
It's going to take European football as well. That's a big selling point as well.
Yeah.
You got European football next year. I know it's Europa Conference League or whatever it is, but still European football and a great experience.
And he's played for the Welsh national team, as you mentioned. It was Gary Speed, rest in peace. He gave him his debut, if I'm not mistaken. Then Chris Coleman gave him the opportunities. But this is a guy that's played with Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale. In fact, as far as I'm aware, it was Joe Ledley who knew him from his Cardiff days, was at Celtic and recommended to Lennon that they sign Matthews. It was Joe Ledley that told him to bring him in.
Yeah, obviously, he's obviously a player's player as well for a player to do that and go out of his way, honestly. Because that could go terribly wrong if he comes up and it doesn't work out. But he's obviously got the confidence in him. Yeah, you have to wait and see. But it's all I can't see many negatives. They're all positives, to be honest.
And do you know much about his physicality? I know he's got what they call a cauliflower ear because he's got a bit of a rugby background. I know you guys love that sport, beating each other up as well. And I've seen people on a night out in Cardiff, mate, and it can get a bit rowdy. So in terms of the physicality, I don't think he wouldn't be able to cope with Cyprus, even though I've seen some challenges go unnoticed out there,
Yeah, Neil Lennon, I'm pretty sure, has seen a little bit of it now. This is why he's a good coach, a good manager. He'll relay that to him if he sees or he knows of any players or who are usually when you play against a team, you kind of know which ones are the players and who are the wrong ones who you need to look after or look out for. So, like I say, again, his experience will get him through that. He won't be diving in and making any rash challenges. And so the physicality of it, when you play Championship football, Scottish football is brutal. So, yeah, no problem with Cypriot football, I should imagine.
There's something that we say out here where a manager has their favourites, and we see it at various clubs. We have certain players who perhaps many fans believe, why is he even in the first team? But the manager likes him for whatever reason. Now, given his relationship with Lennon, do you think there's a possibility that he'll be the eyes and ears? Do you think he'll have the responsibility to organise the back line? Because, as I said on numerous occasions on this pod, we haven't had a leader at the back since Michael Lufner left the back end of the season before last.
Yeah, like I say, experienced 30-year-old, played with top players who would have gained a lot of stuff off them. Playing with the type of player like Virgil van Dijk, you must learn loads off someone like that. We've seen it with the players that he's played with, how they've grown. Matip, the young kid who come in at the end of the season, and obviously the Trent Alexander and Robertson benefit from it because they can go so high, knowing that they've got Virgil van Dijk there. So, but it's a good positive. Like I say, he's experienced. He will help the back line, whichever way they want to play, and it should be good. And we'll probably see a couple more. Like, how many players have you lost? You said you've lost a few this year, so you could probably see in some more British players coming in because us coaches, we're a creature of habit. Like you just said, we like people, the favourites, people we can trust, who we've played with before, who we know we can do a job that I want them to do. So you're probably going to see other players coming in that he's coached before.
Well, we've made two signings, Matthews being one of them, and a Brazilian winger who Lennon obviously has never coached before, but he was in Greece before going to Sheriff, the team that beat Real Madrid in the Champions League this season, just gone. So I think we're going to have a mixture of players that perhaps were on the radar under Henning Berg and some players coming in that Lennon obviously wants. But right now, what's happening at the club, mate, is we've got a hierarchy where you've got the president that isn't really a football guy. You've got his assistant who knows a bit about the game, but he's more into the business side of things. And then you've got a couple others that know the game. And they've basically given Lennon the keys to the club, similar to how Ferguson was at United. They've let him run the football side of things and even some of the back of the stuff in the background. How important do you think that is for a manager to come in to be given that kind of power and authority? Because we've had sporting directors in the past, and while it's worked, I can't really think of one sporting director that we've had that's had that longevity and has really set everything in stone, has stamped their authority and has been there for a long time, and people can say, right, this is the guy that's really molded us.
Yeah. Well, I think, we've got to remember this is only really new to us, this technical director. The manager's always been the head honchos at the football clubs. Yes, it's probably changed in later years. But Neil Lennon's probably, who would you rather have making football decisions? Someone who doesn't know nothing about football and managed been football all his life. So he's just got to make sure he doesn't bring too much pressure on himself and get the right people in to delegate to do the stuff that he wants doing and make sure he doesn't overload himself. But yeah, it's like I said before with Adam Matthews, that's a positive as well, because you've gone from someone who doesn't really know football, who's a businessman, and now you put it into the hands of who's been in football all his life and just been there 3 or 4 months and bought you a cup. So, yeah, we'll give it him and see how it goes.
Mm. And you know all about the Omonoia Upwell rivalry and how heated it can be. I don't think this player will have any issues with atmosphere and all that, given the fact that he's played in a Cardiff-Swansea derby. You know all about that. What can you tell the
more than that, mate? Bigger than that. I think the Ibrox.
Well, yeah, I was going to go into that one, but I mean,
yeah,
if you're going to talk about
that's more of a fans thing that goes back years and years and years. The rivalry. They thumped us at 3 or 4-0 this year at Cardiff. So both times, in fact, at home and away. So. And sometimes they keep missing each other. One will get promoted and one will get relegated. So years of late, you've not really seen it. And when you have seen it, there's always trouble because obviously the fans, and it is a loud atmosphere. But as I said before, the Glasgow one is, it's fierce.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. Obviously, with us and Upwell, there's obviously been a political element to our rivalry with them. But I think with Rangers and Celtic, it's a bit deeper because you're talking about religion. You're talking about people that have been killed, maimed. You want to talk about the IRA. You want to talk about all these other different.
Yeah, it's a lot more political and religion based, and where Cardiff and Swansea just neighbours.
Yeah,
and just that historic rivalry over the years, and like I say, they're just neighbours.
Yeah.
But Celtic and Rangers, it's a lot more deeper and a lot more. It does mean a lot more. It seems to the fans up there. But yeah, he's not going to be overawed by any atmosphere. I'm sure of that.
No,
but although the atmosphere will be different, definitely different, but I'm pretty sure he's, like I say, he's played European football. He's experienced these kind of environments, so I'm pretty sure he would have seen it all before.
Mm. Roy's got a question. Do you think he'll be good in the build-up, as in build-up play, going up in terms of an attacking sense? And if you'll help Loizu. Loizu is this 18-year-old player that we have. He's a very technically gifted player, plays on the right wing, but he's left-footed, plays kind of like an inverted winger, and he's really improved under Lennon. His confidence is back up. Do you think Matthews will help the lad develop in any way, especially on the overlap?
Well, as a winger, as a growing up as a winger myself, you have full-backs that you kind of connect with, and some that it takes a little bit longer with. You just have to wait and see, and see it as all the signs are there that the experience will help him along, and once he identifies and see what the player's like, his movement and what he likes to do. But you'll probably see if it works in training before, and if it does, like I say, some fullbacks it clicks with, when to run, where he's going to run, when to pass it, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer. You just have to wait and see if you can see that connection early on. But like I say, his experience, and it can only help the young lad.
I just think this might be a little parallel, sidestepping a bit to Dennis Irwin and Ryan on that left-hand side. Do you think he helped his development, Irwin?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I say, somebody you connect with, the runs, you've played with them for so long, and you have that connection. Same with David Beckham, Gary Neville. You just have a connection.
That one. But they were the same age though, weren't they? Same age group.
They were the same. But Gary Neville wasn't always a right back, and David Beckham wasn't always a right midfielder. In the youth team, David Beckham played centre midfielder.
Centre mid.
Gary Neville was a centre half.
Centre back, yeah.
So they never really played together until the first team. So, like I say, it does help though. Obviously, the experience with Dennis Irwin, but there was always so hard working at them wingers, and there was always never really need to tell them to get back in, because they'd always do the job because they'd been imprinted in by Eric Harrison. So there's lots of connections, but it does you would be able to tell straight away.
There's a message here. We want Ben Woodburn, who's I believe he's been released from Liverpool. I think isn't he Welsh as well, Rod?
He's a centre midfielder, yeah, small lad, yeah. He was at Liverpool, yeah. He's gone back the ball him, because he was started for Wales. I think he scored in his debut, or did really well, and then just got missing after a while.
Yeah, there's another one here which is quite interesting. He says, let's bring Gareth Bale for Aphrodite Hills, the golf sessions, because we've got one of the best golf courses in Europe out there. So, but Bale's going Cardiff, isn't he?
I said this about a month ago. There's no doubt in my mind that Gareth Bale's got to Cardiff City. No doubt in my mind. No doubt.
That's his team.
No, it's where he lives. It's his home. It's, yes. And
can you imagine if he gets out? If Ramsey goes back there as well? Can you imagine if Ramsey goes back there?
No.
Yeah. Will he add more attacking power to the squad because it was something that Shehu was missing when he was at the club? Is he the type of player to bomb down the wing and swing it in? I think you're a little bit unfair on Shehu, to be honest, because I think Shehu was better going forward than he was defensively. I'd be more concerned about the defensive element because when you've got an overlapping fullback, you need him to be able to go up and down the pitch. And I think Shehu, while he was good at getting back because he was quick, defensively, I don't think he was great. I think Matthews is much better defensively, in my opinion, anyway.
And with his experience, sometimes the heat, you can't be doing it as much as you can do it as you would back home. So you've just got to have that in mind as well. But like I say, all that experience helps. He'll know when to go and when not to. But ultimately, his job is to be defensive and stop goals. So, but I'm pretty sure he'll be good on the offensive part too. But not as much as a flying, Robertson or just. I don't see that, especially.
Nah, not at 30 years old. No disrespect.
Yeah,
not like that.
Just at the heat as well, mate. You probably won't see it a lot in that league because of the heat. It's just impossible.
Yeah. Roy's got a question. What team do you support in Wales? So it could be their rivals, but you support Cardiff, so Swansea are Cardiff's rivals. It's not Wrexham. Yeah. Although Wrexham are looking good, man, aren't they, with the new owners?
Yeah, looking good. It was a good game, and I think it was a semi-final. It was like 4-4, and then they scored in the last minute. I think Grimsby scored in the last minute to beat them 5-4. But yeah, everything looks bright. It's good ground, Wrexham. It's quite a big ground.
Yeah,
so
race
literally. No, it's not racecourse. Yeah, literally been there a few times because Wales have played there a few times over the years. I've actually played there myself when I played for Bangor City. We played them in the Welsh Cup. But it's literally about an hour and 10 minutes from here. Wrexham.
That's it. The most famous Wrexham game is when they beat Arsenal. That's the most famous one I remember. When
Thomas. Yeah,
Mickey Thomas.
I got to know Mickey Thomas really well. Friendly with Mickey Thomas. He's a really good bloke. So.
Didn't he recently recover from cancer?
Yeah. They just climbed him. They just climbed him out. Snowden or Ben Hevis or some out over the weekend. Yeah, he's.
Well done. Well done. Let's have a look. We need the Welsh Jesus, Joe Allen. It's loading. What's loading, George? Opinion about Tom Rogic. Tom Rogic, he won't come to Omonoia because he doesn't get on with Lennon. And number two, he will want way too much money, and we can't afford him. How does the level of League One compare with that of the Cypriot First Division? It's difficult to say because there are players who have come to Cyprus that have played Championship football level and have failed. There are players that have played Premier League football level in the past, in their early career, that failed. Though look at. I'll tell you what. Jason Punchin, God bless him, he's gone to Anorthosis today. He's been brilliant since coming to Cyprus. He's an elite footballer out there. Do you get what I'm saying? But then you've had players like Jack Byrne, who joined from Oldham, hardly got a kick at Upwell. Joe Garner did all right, but he didn't get that many goals for Upwell. So it's hit and miss. But it's the same with head coaches. Like the most successful British coach I can think of in Cyprus is probably Cameron Toshak. He went to Buffalo and did reasonably well, and then he got sacked. People say Ronnie Whelan, that's Republic of Ireland. It don't count as British. But look at it in the past. Mike Walker was shit. Mick McCarthy was shit. George Burley lasted 3 games, if that. Stephen Presley didn't do well. So it's hit, miss, or maybe, as our friend Steve Eyre would say. Let's have a look. Hatem Ben Arfa, he'll want too much money. Don't be silly.
Oh, you don't want him. He'd be eating kebabs every night.
He's yeah, true. You want to be verified. I'm getting all these thumbs up now. I would like to learn about the form of Adam last season. To be honest, I don't really know too much about his form last season. How did Charlton do? I don't even know how Charlton did. I know they sacked their manager. Well, no, sorry. No, tell a lie. They didn't sack him. He walked.
There's been a lot of turmoil going on at Charlton in the last few years, haven't there, with the owner?
Yeah, they had a Belgian owner and then an Egyptian owner came in, but they've got a new Danish guy and he's really shaking things up. And I think they're going to do well next season. I really do think they're going to do well. They brought in, who they got in as a head coach? I don't even know who they got there as a head coach, to be honest. But look, at the end of the day, we can only focus on the future. And let's see, is he a real shithouse in a good way on the pitch? We need some of those. Do you think he's a bit of a shithouse? Because from what I understand, from what I've seen of him in interviews, he seems like a really nice guy. But then again, when footballers cross that white line,
yeah,
they flick a switch.
He's Welsh as well, so he's going to be nice.
He's Welsh, so he's going to be nice.
Yeah, he's going to be able to look after himself. We grew up playing rugby. No helmets, no shoulder pads, just a gum shield. That's all we need. True.
Have I seen the Omonoia news article about the attacker? I haven't seen anything, George. Honestly, I haven't seen anything. The past half an hour has been a blur for me, so I don't know. I really don't know. So I don't know which player. Is he an improvement on Shehu? Look, it's difficult to say because I think Shehu had some really, really, really good games for us. Really good games for us. But when he was bad, he was bad. He'd make a lot of mistakes in the sense that he'd switch off. But I think as a fullback going forward, last season, he was not season gone, season before we won the league. He was a fantastic player. But players dip in form. And don't forget, he had a long season. He had AFCON as well to worry about. Then you had the World Cup qualifiers and you're going back and forth, flying here and there. It's difficult. It's difficult to keep. And then he got injured. He had a pretty bad injury. Came back. He wasn't 100%. Then he played a World Cup qualifier. Wasn't 100%. So all these things add up, man. It's difficult. I don't know. If the best League One players can excel at Championship and then Premier League level, which happens very often, then the next best players should be all right for our level. Okay, I'll accept that. Here's a question, Rod.
It'd be around the Wales squad if the merging of Nico Williams won there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Nico Williams the last 2 or 3 years has come out of nowhere. So other than that, he'd be in the Wales squad. So
yeah, true. Yeah, golf question, Rod.
Go on.
I don't know. Can you see it on the screen? Mike's put it up.
Hybrids woods or long irons. Well, the shortest iron I've got in my bag is a 4-iron, and I have a hybrid, a 3-wood, and a driver. That's it. Big boy, 200 yards with 6-iron. Boom.
See, you might as well be talking Chinese because I don't speak that. I understand rugby more than I understand golf.
I know, Matt. See, I've actually seen him take a penalty at Old Trafford, so I know I was like a kind of golf swing. I reckon Mike's kind of an army golfer. Left, right. But
I saw Mike's penalty.
When he has a bit of practice, I'll take him out. It only takes 3 or 4 hours.
Hey, I saw Mike's penalty at Old Trafford. Do you know what? He lived the dream. He scored the penalty at Old Trafford, but that was a terrible penalty, Mike. I don't know what the people
Hey, they all count. It went in.
Yeah, true. It was a FIFA penalty, but it worked. 100% correct, bro. There you go. Well, look, I don't know anything else to say about the player. I'm hoping he does well for us. Like, as I said, a player with experience. So we need, if he's a leader, fantastic. The manager trusts him. Obviously, he likes him enough to re-sign him. And it's a free transfer. So I'm guessing his wages won't be too high. It won't affect our budget in a massive way. And I don't think he'll command as much money as the guy that has just left that probably wanted more. So, here we go. Ronaldo couldn't score a penalty against Middlesbrough. Mike did. It shows levels.
And at the Stretford end.
In Stretford end as well. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, look, Rod, do you want to just let everyone know I know you're on Insta. I don't think many people are on Twitter on here. So give them your Insta so they can follow you.
Instagram, what is it now? I don't know. It is Rhodri2477, I think it is.
2477. There you go.
Roger
All right.
2477. Yeah.
Well, hang on, I've got another one here. Question is whether Matthews has been a player that has stood out in League One in the past couple of years, even if obviously not enough to go somewhere better than Cyprus. I think he was pretty solid from what I understand. I know a lot of Charlton fans were happy that he went, probably because he signed during an era where the club wasn't going well. You tend to see that when a president that isn't liked by fans comes in and certain players come in under that era and they don't do well. It's like, oh, well, they were shit. They weren't good enough. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, the manager trusts him. I trust the manager. I said it from day one. Lennon wasn't my first choice, but you back him, and
you can go to a club, and don't think you did really that well, but then go to my old manager's got a new job. I'm going to go there and go back there, and then it's back to normal then.
Yeah, 100%.
So that can happen very easily.
It makes a massive difference. I mean, look, ever since he left, okay, so after Lennon, he had Ronnie Darley at Celtic, he had Dick Advocat, he had Simon Grace. I'm not going to count David Moyes because he didn't get coached by him. Then he went to Bristol City. I can't remember who the Bristol City head coach was. Then he went to Charlton with 2 coaches. So he's had 6 head coaches in the last 10 years. I mean, how can you get any consistency?
Yeah, and under Lee Bowyer, he's played how many games to Charlton? 80 odd?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So, yeah, he would have done, and there was always up and thereabouts with Lou Bowyer, because Lou Bowyer did well because he got a move, he got a better job. Where did he go, Birmingham?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Birmingham. So he obviously done something right at Charlton, so to him to get a bigger and better job. So the new manager's come in and he's not done so well.
Lovely. All right. Thank you, Rod, for your time. Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah,
We've done just over half an hour. I think it's the shortest pod you and I have ever done together. Jesus.
Well, what are you going to do? Nothing that can not going anywhere, not doing anything, am I?
Brilliant. Well, we'll do one sometime soon anyway. We'll do one during the season as well when our boy is doing well at the club.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
All right, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in.
Well, we'll do one when we eventually fucking sign someone.
Oh yeah, United, yeah, we're Man United. Someone, yeah.
What do you make of this? This. I know a couple of them. I actually worked with one of them guys who was sat down, the bald fella.
Oh, the 58.
Yeah, I actually worked with him in Wivenshaw. I know you.
What they did with Richard Arnold.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Do you think he's that naive? He wouldn't think he was being filmed, or?
Nah, he knew 100%.
Exactly. He's not that stupid, is he?
Nah, no chance. Listen, the fact is he got wind that they were going to show up at his house.
Yeah.
So he found out that they were going to be drinking at a pub. He went to the pub, right? And he knew that it was the perfect opportunity to get in United fans' good books, because obviously Ed Woodward, you can't go any lower than Ed Woodward, can you? Let's be honest, in terms of fan opinion, right? So he thought, fuck it, I've come in to replace Woodward, so why don't I be the good guy? And he said all the right things, but listen, talk is cheap. So they have to deliver. They have to deliver. In the transfer market, they have to back Ten Hag. But will they? That's the question. Will they? Well, I will say they've done the good thing getting rid of fucking Lingard and Pogba.
Yeah. I haven't put myself through that Pogba-mentary yet.
No, I'm not going to watch that. Fuck it. Can't be bothered. Fuck it. Anyway, that's it for another episode. No Chuff This podcast. Like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA. So until next time, Rod can't say it yet. Edo. But you can't say it. It's Bamishilakamu.